favorite ways to spend my free time is hammocking. People can use hammocks for a variety of reasons. Some people prefer to use them to relax outdoors, others like to nap, some people like to read. Personally, my favorite way to use my hammock is camping under the stars. If you're looking to hammock, I can show you a way to find the perfect hammock spot and as well as how to set it up. The first step in hammocking is to find the ideal location. There are many different things you want to look for when looking for a hammock spot. It all just varies on why you're wanting to hammock. Do you want a shady spot or a sunny spot? Is the noise level good enough? And is the perfect view a requirement? You'll also want to find at least 2 sturdy trees with a good optimal distance between the two. According to Yellowleaf Hammock's online guidelines, this spot has at least 10 feet between the trees. That's so that there's enough tension in your hammock and it's a long enough distance so that your hammock is at least 2 feet off the ground. This is necessary because when you sit in your hammock, you don't want the added weight to sink too low to the ground. You don't want to hit the ground in your hammock. That kind of defeats the purpose. This also depends on the number of people in your hammock as well as the weight added. So a lot of it comes down to personal preference. Once you find your ideal spot, you can begin hanging your hammock. Mine is Grand Trunk brand. So if you have a different brand, setup might vary slightly differently. There'll be different lengths. It depends on how many people are in your hammock, also just what type of hammock. But in general, the guidelines for hanging hammocks are the same. The first thing you'll want to start with is your rope or tree strap. So it has a loop on one side and then a long length of rope that has knots interspersed between it. So you'll want to take your tree rope and wrap it around the tree trunk, pretending this is the tree trunk, and take the long length of rope and loop it through the shorter loop and tighten it. Make sure that it's tight enough so that it won't slip down the tree once you sit in it. And the height you'll want to put this strap on your tree is about eye level or 5 to 6 feet off the ground, so that once you put your hammock through there, it will be around 2 feet off the ground. So next, after you have your tree trunk or your tree wrap around the trunk, take the end of the hammock with your carabiner and unhook it and put it right above the knot that you choose. So next you'll do the same thing on the other tree at the same level because you'll want to make sure that your hammock is nice and flat. So next you'll want to sit on your hammock to test the weight and make sure it doesn't sag too much or that it slides down the trees. If it's uneven, you can always loosen up your rope and slide it up or down depending, or you can unhook your carabiner and put it on a different rope. Just make sure that it matches on both sides so that it stays flat and uneven. If this works, then you're ready to start hammocking. Hammocking can be a great way to spend your free time. It's easy, it's fun, it's relaxing, and you get to be outdoors. You can take time in hammock by yourself, or you can spend quality time with others. If you follow these guidelines, you'll be sure to have a great hammocking experience. Good luck and happy hammocking!